I was on Instagram the other day and I saw an absolutely insufferable asshole refuse to answer the same question twice, even though the first time you could have been sitting next to him and you wouldn't have heard him. So basically, this guy's at a border patrol checkpoint. I'm not sure which one, obviously, but he's at some sort of border patrol checkpoint, and the whole idea is that you pull up, you answer some questions, and then you drive off. Simple. Takes not even a minute, because there's car after car after car going by. Not even a minute. So this guy rolls up. Well, first of all, let me just show you what happens when he rolls up. Before I do, I just want to show you this picture right here, which is just 2 minutes into the video. He says the window is cracked slightly. If that window's cracked, I'm a flying gorilla. That window is not cracked. I could have my ear pressed against that window and I still wouldn't be able to hear you. The window's nowhere near cracked. And even if it was, they would probably ask you to roll it down fully anyway. So we can get onto the video now. I just wanted to show that just because this is his whole excuse as to why he doesn't need to answer the question twice.
What I'm going to do is answer their questions.
So you can immediately tell he's just going to go in there to purely be a dick. He says, and what I'm going to do is answer their questions. Then he gives a little smirk as if he's just took the last cookie from the cookie jar. And he's written on screen, "We all know what a cooperative guy I am." Obviously sarcastically. He's just going up there to be a menace just because he doesn't want to answer their question. His whole thing is that he'll roll up and he'll like really badly answer the question, like in the one we're about to see. He obviously, the window's not cracked. He claims it's cracked. It's obviously not cracked. But his whole shtick is that he rolls up and he answers the question before he's even there. Like as he's driving up, he'll just mumble it to him. Initially, when I first saw this yesterday, I thought he was practicing what he was going to say, but it turns out he was just answering it without even being asked the question, without even putting his window down. He's an arsehole.
I'm a U.S. citizen. What do you want me to do?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
United States citizen, sir?
I just answered that before I even rolled the window down.
What was that?
I answered you before I even rolled the window down.
I didn't hear you answer that because the window was up.
Well, the window was cracked.
I can't tell. This thing looked like the window was up. Are you a United States citizen, sir?
I already answered you. I don't think I have to answer more than once.
So it's exactly what you'd expect from someone like this guy. He rolls up, before he even gets there, he answers the question, and then he sits there. What do you want me to do? He wants you to do what everyone else is doing. Roll down your window so you can answer his questions. So, rolls down the window. Are you a United States citizen? Oh, I already answered that. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you answer it again? No, it's fine. I answered it before I rolled the window down. He said that. His words were, I answered your question before I rolled the window down. Brother, obviously he's not going to hear you then. If your window wasn't rolled down, no one's going to hear you. Unless they're in the car with you. He's just doing this. I don't know if he has some sort of fetish of being bugged. I don't know if it's just all for the YouTube channel so he can get paid off of it. Or I don't know if he's just a pure arsehole anyway. Or it could be that his mind is incapable of answering the same question twice. I don't know. So they have some conversations. They argue a little bit back and forth because this guy just wants him to answer the question. If he answers the question, he can go, but obviously he refuses. So the officer here tells him to pull up somewhere, and then they send someone else over, I assume a higher power, to try and get the answer out of him.
I need to.
I didn't make it noisy. I didn't make it noisy outside for you. Somebody else did.
Okay.
That's not my problem. It's not my fault.
Sir,
I just like
are
to
you
be
a
on my way.
United States citizen, sir?
I just like to be on my way.
Sir, are you a United States citizen?
Sir, may I go?
Sir, you're stopping traffic right now?
I'm not trying to stop traffic. Can I go?
No, you're going to park right there and so
Where?
until you answer a question. It's going to be right there, number 1, behind that 18-wheeler. You're going to park right there and somebody
Okay.
will meet you there outside, all right?
By that ladder right there?
Yes, sir.
That's
Just
where you
park
want me to
right
park?
there. Yes, sir. Hold traffic.
Just some more dickery pokery here. I didn't make it noisy outside for you. It's not my fault you didn't hear me. Yeah, but if he didn't hear you, just answer the question again. There's no harm in repeating yourself. You're not going to get arrested or shot dead if you repeat yourself. I didn't make it noisy. I mean, what a prick. No one's saying you made it noisy outside. They're just saying it is noisy outside. That's why they didn't hear you. Not to mention the fact, once again, that you admitted your window was up. It wasn't even rolled down. By the looks of it, it wasn't even remotely cracked. Just, god damn it. Do not be like this guy. I think that's probably the title of this video. Don't be an arsehole. Don't be don't be insufferable just for the sake of it. I stuttered so much there because of how pissed off I am. Anyway, he pulls up to where they tell him to, and he sits there for maybe a minute or so before someone else comes over and just pretty much tries to get the same answer out of him.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
I already answered the question. I answered it for him over there. It's not my fault if you guys can't hear. I'm not going to sit here and repeat myself over and over and over again.
He's telling me that you wouldn't answer the question.
I did answer the question. I told him I answered the question. He says he can't hear. Okay, the Supreme Court says we should not speak to law enforcement. I don't want to speak to you guys. I answered your question. I'd like to be on my way.
So he brings up the excuse that the Supreme Court says they don't have to answer his questions, which, I don't know. I guess it's true. I'll take his word for it. But what's the harm in answering a question? You already answered it, according to you. So what's the harm in answering it twice? And he sits there saying, I'm not going to repeat myself over and over and over again. Because no one's asking him to. They're just asking him to repeat himself once. It's a yes or no question. Are you a US citizen? Yes. Okay, go on your way. No. I don't know if they ask him more questions after that. But either way, I'm sure they'd send him on his way eventually. But that doesn't matter because he is a US citizen. So all he has to say is, are you a US citizen? Yes, I'm a US citizen. Okay, have a good day. You see throughout the video all these cars and trucks and vans driving past because they're just answering the question like a normal human being. That's what I'm saying. This guy clearly has some other idea in his mind. Like I said, I don't know if he's aroused by the fact that they keep asking him or if he just wants it for YouTube, but yeah. Arsehole. So they pretty much just sit there and explain to him if he keeps refusing to answer the question, then they're just going to put spikes in front of his tires and he's going to sit there all night until he's ready to answer the question, basically. So it's either he answers it there or he sits there until he's ready to answer it. But if you're doing something like this, I don't think you ever have to answer them because it doesn't seem like you have to be anywhere because you have zero life. You have nothing better to do, so you would be in no rush in the first place. I'm confident if this guy wanted to, he could sit there for the rest of his life. As long as he had a couple crackers and a bottle of water, this guy would be fine. So they put the spikes there, and then he ends up sitting there for like literally not even 2 minutes, maybe like just over a minute. And then he calls them over and just says the stupidest of the dumb thing I've ever heard.
Let me know when the trucks are gone so you can hear what I'm about to say. You can hear me? I want to make sure you get it on film. Okay, when that truck comes by, you let me know and where you can hear it. And make sure you get it video. I love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
What are your points, sir? Are you a U.S. citizen?
He acts like they're the idiots. He make sure you're recording this. Make sure you can hear me, which wasn't even the problem to begin with. The problem to begin with was that, yes, he couldn't hear you because your window was up and there's traffic. That he had no, he's not got hearing problems. He's not a 90-year-old with hearing aids that are malfunctioning. He just didn't hear you. It's a very normal thing for someone to be talking to someone. I could be sitting in a room with someone right now, and we're sitting in silence, and they're behind me, and they ask me a question, and I don't hear them, and I turn around and say, what was that? They're not going to sit there and say, you should have been recording. I don't have to repeat myself to you. Why would I repeat myself to you? I'm not going to repeat myself over and over and over again. I already asked you the question. Because no one would do that. Why would anyone do that? So, he states something here, I like hot dogs, baseball, you know, whatever. Apparently it's from some old Chevrolet commercial. Unless you've seen the commercial, obviously you wouldn't know what this guy's yapping about. Although there are some pretty American things, baseball and Chevrolet. Why? Why not just say I'm a US citizen? Initially, that's what I thought he was calling the guy over for. Make sure there's no trucks, I want you to hear this. I'm a US citizen. Nope, rewind. Make sure there's no trucks so you can hear this. I like baseball and apple pies and hot dogs and Chevrolet. I mean, what an arsehole. I don't know how many times I've said that. I'll change it up. What a dickhead. And then he sits there giving it all this and putting his hand on his head and his hand on his cheek as if they're doing something wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. They have to ask you a question and get the answer out of you before they can let you go. Why are you weaving around the answer? Why not just answer it? Like if I pulled up to one of these and they said, are you a Scottish citizen? And I said, I'm not going to answer that question, but here's a little hint. I like Iron Brew, shortbread, and Highland cows. What does that even mean? Yes, they're Scottish things. What does that mean? I like hot dogs and apple pies, and my favorite car that I want to get eventually is a Chevy 55. Incredible car. Never watched baseball. I'll have a baseball bat here though. Doesn't make me American. So anyway, it gets to a point where he just steps out the car and he's just like, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. They don't want to arrest you or detain you. They just want you to answer the question so you can go. Nonetheless, he gets out the car and he waddles over somewhere and sits down. And eventually the whole thing de-escalates where I'll show you right now, he doesn't directly answer the question. But I think at this point the guards just give up with him.
So you're telling me you love baseball, apple pie, and Chevrolet?
The baseball, hot dogs,
Apple pie, and
and
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
So you're telling me you're a U.S. citizen? Really? All right, come on.
Am I free to
Yeah.
go?
And that's the whole video. He even lets out a little giggle at the end there because he succeeded victory by not answering the question directly. Like I already mentioned, I saw a clip of this guy. It was just when he rode up to the window. I saw that on Instagram, and I had to find the full video, and I had to talk about it because it's such a clear display on what not to do. Just act like a normal human being, answer a question, be somewhat tolerable, and just live your life normally. If you really have nothing to do, find something to do that doesn't annoy people. That's it. This guy was an arse.